everyone, Daisy here again with another layout for the 12 Days of Autumn with Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life. Today is day 10 and we are celebrating Halloween because it is Halloween today. I am using this background paper, which is from October Afternoon. It's a really old one. And I'm going to apologize if there's something funky going on with my video. On my screen, it looks like it's being really glitchy, so I'm sorry if it is the same way for you guys. But I'm using this paper and I decided that I wanted to do kind of, the trendy thing right now is wreaths. So I'm kind of creating a wreath using some white gesso from Liquitex and just kind of creating a little circle. So then I'm just going to let that kind of dry, and I'm trying to decide what I want to put over this wreath. And I have all of these die cut pieces that I had cut out using some different cut files, and some that I purchased from the Silhouette store. Some of them came from Paper Issues, and just decided that I wanted to do like a super heavy Halloween layout. So I thought I was just going to leave this as a white circle in the background, but then I realized that a lot of my die cuts are white, and so I wanted to make them pop out a little bit more. So I am going to use some mist, and the one that I'm going to use is, I think it's Night Moves, but it might be Before Dawn. It's a Shimmers, one of their black ones that have the shimmer in the mist. And so I'm just going to use a watercolor brush and just kind of, like, I'm almost making a wreath kind of shape, I guess, or like leaves almost with my paintbrush. And just going to go all the way around, and then as it dried there was some areas that were really light, so I go over it, and then it wasn't big enough, so I just keep adding to it until it ends up close to what I was looking for. And then when I'm done with that, I am going to use some to make some splatters around the page and around the wreath itself. And I end up really loving the way this turned out. It turned out way better than I was expecting. So. And then as you can see, I had poured way too much gesso into my little container there, so I am going to water some of that down and do some white splatters as well. And then of course comes the fun of letting it dry, and it took a little bit to dry because I did use quite a bit of mist on this one. But because I used the gesso, there is minimal warping to my page. There is a tiny bit, but so I'm just working on adding my splatters, and I'm really liking the way this turned out. In the end, this layout turns out a little bit busier than I was actually intending it to, and I'm not 100% sure if I'm in love with it, but I am in love with this wreath, so I definitely recommend trying out this fun mixed media technique of making a Halloween wreath. So here I'm making my white splatters, and I'm just going to add them all around the page. And like I said, the background paper is an October Afternoon paper, and it has a story about Halloween on it, and I thought it was kind of funny and just wanted to use it as a whole sheet, so I was happy to be able to get that out of my stash. And now, through the magic of YouTube, my page will be dry, and then I can start layering things. So I love the way that turned out. Now I'm using this picture, and this is from, I want to say it's from 2015, my kiddos and our dogs. And I'm going to have that be the center of the wreath, and then I'm going to layer all of these different characters and shapes around it. And I was planning on just keeping it black and white, but then I found some orange pieces that I wanted to use, and so I decided to add them in there too. And I have this fun skeleton that I wanted to put on there, and All of my die cuts are cut out of Cardstock Warehouse cardstock, and I love their cardstock. It's super thick, it cuts beautifully, and I'm super happy with it. I highly recommend it if you're looking for some decently priced cardstock. I would definitely recommend checking out the Cardstock Warehouse. But I'm just working on putting together my skeleton, and I end up kind of looping him around so that it kind of fills the wreath with all of my little characters here. I do pull in a couple of pieces from the Bella Boulevard, I think it's Spooktacular, I want to say, collection, like this pumpkin here, and then there's a couple of bats that I put on there, and these tabs. And then so if you're wondering, I did plan this one out ahead of time because I had no idea exactly what I wanted to do with this. I had a complete different idea that I was going to go for, and I decided that I didn't like that, so I decided to go with this. So I did plan it out. I'm not just like magical and just put stuff down. But now I'm layering some sequins, and these are an older mix from Spiegelmom Scraps. Actually, they're not that old. It's like within this year, I believe, and they're called Black Onyx, and they have gold and these little square ones with silver and gold stars on them, and then some large black sequins, and they were just perfect for this page. So I'm putting them in little clusters, but I'm actually going to split them up and kind of put them in the wreath shape too, just to kind of keep that going. I was thinking about adding some different sequins, but then changed my mind. I didn't want to overwhelm it too much because this is super busy for me. Like, makes me a little uncomfortable, but I actually really like it. So... And here you see me just moving around my sequins, but you should definitely head on over to Christy's channel and check out what she made. It's super cute and I adore it. So definitely head on over there, and I will see you again next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!